Now let's talk about this Indian border situation now and catch up again with Nitin Shukla, who's the President of the Council of Indian Australians. Let's start off with the good news here, Nitin. After National Cabinet today, we're told that the government will be looking to start up repatriation flights from India directly into Australia as soon as possible after that pause. So as soon as possible after May the 15th. Is that good news at least?
Yes, it is. It is. There is certainly something we can hope for in a short period of time, which is fair enough, a good news. And I hope they do some action as well. It'll be better.
The trouble is, of course, you're talking about probably a maximum of 300 people on a flight, maybe less in this day, given the social distancing requirements. And you're talking about 9,000 Aussies who might want to come home from India. So even with shuttle flights, it's going to take a long while. How long do you think it could be before commercial options are available?
Well, there is, as I said last time as well, we don't know how long is this piece of string going to take to get to normal. And this is where we want, more flights to be coming in. But also the issue is how long? What can we do here? Can we have some proper purpose-based quarantine built here, facilities in this country, so it really helps. COVID doesn't look at any country or anything like that, or any religion or any caste. COVID can happen in any country. Today it's India, tomorrow it could be anything else. That means we really need to have something, and we know that we have diversified population in this country, and it could be anyone who could be going through this. At the moment, it's India, which is very sad, but certainly the number of flights for the 9,000 people and 6,000 or 600 are the most vulnerable ones. So probably they might come back home soon, but the others, we need to increase the number of flights.
I got to say, the whole quarantine camp argument is a real red herring here. This is put up by the state premiers who are complaining about it, trying to shift the blame. Our hotel quarantine system has been operating very effectively for most of the time. It's only that stuff up in Victoria early last year that was a real problem. The thing here is that your point exactly, Nitin, is that Indian Australians are suffering now, or any Australian in India. Yet the same problems, the same ban wasn't imposed on Australians coming from America or Europe last year when they had infection rates higher than India. This creates an enormous amount of uncertainty. Just what are people in India looking at doing now in an attempt to get home?
I think they're really devastated with this particular decision, because this is exactly what's going through their mind when it happened in UK, US, and there wasn't any decision like this that was made, and there were still flights coming in. And now they are losing their livelihood, their mortgages, their commitments big time. They have to go back to square one where they started, and that's causing enormous stress. And especially some of the parents are who have actually in India left their children here they are just waiting for them to come back here so that they can get back to their normal lives. And it is very tough in India at the moment, yeah.
See, there's a fundamental principle here, and that is when you hold Australian citizenship, when you leave this country with an Australian passport, that carries with it a brilliant right, the right that people right across the world would love to have, and that's the right to get back into Australia. Sure, the government, because of the pandemic, can force you to go into quarantine and force you to pay for it, but that passport should be your right to come back into the country, surely.
It is indeed, and I hope that the government realizes. I understand these are the requirements at this stage to make this country safe, but certainly you can have some processes in place to make sure that we are getting everyone here who is not having COVID and they are negatively, their tests are done and they're negative when they come back into the country and goes through the 14 days robust quarantine process. And there is definitely a way to go, rather than just saying a blunt no and just stop the flights here.
All right, thanks for joining us again, Nitin. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris.
Nitin Shukla there, who's with the Council of Indian Australians. Now, I stress there is good news, at least in the messaging from the government today. They say that after May 15th, they'll be looking at putting repatriation flights from India on again. But I say they can't come soon enough. If you're an Australian, you have a right to come back into this country.